Hello, my Vibe Tribe. Welcome to the Daily Vibe. Happy August. It is August. Oh my God, it's August. There's only 5 months left in the year. Actually, a teeny bit less since it's the 2nd. For all those superstitious people, I'm saying it a day late because this is the first Daily Vibe. Oops. This is the first. Sorry, guys. One of my cards got away. Naughty. There's another one. Wow. For shame. What is it? Sorry, I gotta look. Because I feel like it might be a good message. Like you needed to see my ass. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. Henry Thoreau. I like that. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. So, and another one popped out of there. So, I kind of like to do these in the morning when people are first popping on. Wow. They're just coming out today, aren't they? When people, But anyways, going back to, this is the first Daily Vibe of the month. I'm going to say rabbit, rabbit. And for some, rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. And that is a superstition. I believe it started in Britain, but I'm not quite sure. When I was reading up on it, I believe it did. But, anyways, I guess that's, oops. I thought that was it. So, let's go through these really quick. Really quick. Hoping some people will pop on. So again, the first card that popped out. I like to do these in the morning just for people that kind of might need an answer from something. But good morning, baby sibling. So, the question is not what you look at, but what you see. Like that, the camera. And that is Henry Thoreau. Next, just chill. Don't be hasty. Don't rush to judgment. Don't be hasty. Don't rush to judgment. So, if there's something that you're thinking about and you're not really sure that's the path yet, don't be hasty and don't rush to judgment. Think about it for a little bit. Sit on it, So, be the champion of your life. Don't quit. Don't quit. Keep persevering. It can be hard. Yes, I know. But keep persevering. Good vibes only. Of course, crappy vibes happen, so why not start out prepared and ahead of the game? Good vibes only. And think positive thoughts. Ding! Think positive thoughts. So I have to say, my morning started out pretty decent. I asked my Echo to play some music for me, and she played Brown Eyed Girl, Brown Eyes. Thank you, Van Morrison. And House of the Rising Sun by the Animals, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. I know. It came out before I even existed, but there's just something raw about that song, right? Something incredibly raw about that song. Good morning, older sibling. I got the siblings. Oh, and I didn't realize it, but I'm kind of wearing a fall type dress. This last weekend, happy Lammas or Lanusa. I think I said that right. I can't remember if I did, but the days are going to start getting shorter now. We're going to head towards fall, which for us is like November, because in Southern California it's like summer until October. But baby sibling loves those songs too. Good morning, Sammy, my super mutt. She's Mutt-alicious too. She called me Mutt-alicious. I love it. I love the things people come up with to call me. They're the best. But yeah, those songs are great. And in fact, only those 2 songs came on. Then it went to commercial, and then I realized I got to get prepared. So I have a few things. The first one was, it was actually a quote I saved from. No, maybe I didn't save it from Friday. I had quite a few good quotes from Friday, but this one, first and foremost, this is something I wanted to talk about. Older sibling likes the songs too. They're good songs. And in case Sammy didn't catch them, I asked the Echo to play me some music just to kind of get me a little ramped up. And she played Brown Eyed Girl. And she played House of the Rising Sun. Two of my faves. They're both on my playlist, so yay. But yeah, great songs. I mean, isn't Van Morrison's Irish, right? I think he's Irish, so good on you, dude. And the Animals, I believe I think the Animals are British. I don't know, but whatever it is. Thanks, Echo. I would call her by her name, but then she'll answer me. So, anyways, I always like to keep the Daily Vibe honest, okay? But there are times when I'm not even sure that, I'm not being honest. And by that I mean with my brain, right? We always talk about the brain. And the whole point of the Daily Vibe was to get out of my head and into a good space. And I don't want to say that I have been in an event for 4 years, guys. But I'm not sure that I haven't. Like, it's been one big long thing. And I actually feel different today. For the first time in a long time, I feel different. Not super different, but I think I'm readjusting. But I was talking to baby sibling this weekend on Saturday. And we were talking about, some of the things that you go through, some of the things that happen. And we were talking about one of the things. And she told me that I haven't been the same since. And so I had to revisit that place. And I had to make peace there. I had to, and I feel like I was granted respect and blessings to move forward. And, it probably, I don't want to say that I haven't grown during this, because this, whatever this was, taught me a huge thing along this journey. And it's been amazing. It's been incredible. There have been lots of highs and lows. There's been, the ups and downs. It's been like a roller coaster and being shot out of a cannon at the same time. Okay. Like being shot out of the cannon and hoping the roller coaster seat catches you, and if you don't, you bounce. And I feel like a couple of times I got shot out of the cannon and I bounced off those tracks and just fell about 100 feet. But I went out to Angel Gate Park in San Pedro, California, and beautiful. Found a beautiful spot. There were a lot of people that day. I mean, it was beautiful outside. The marine layer was pushing back, so you could see it in the background in some of the pictures I took, but the wind was amazing. I mean, I had 2 crows playing in front of me for about a minute. I mean, literally like about 20 feet away from me. I mean, obviously they were over the drop off, so Shelly Marie was not going close to them. But it was fun to watch. Just when birds just love that wind, they play in the wind, and there was a lot of symbolism in that for me. There was a lot of just this freedom. And I'm not going to say I'm 100% better, but I know now that I'm on the mend. So, I'm not really sure, it basically just, I'm taking it one step at a time. Okay. And, oh, good. Sammy replied to me. She said, she did miss the song, so she's grateful she's thankful for resharing them. And Van Morrison is Irish and the animals are British. Thank you. So anyways, yeah, I mean, I had full acceptance of the fact that I have a dinged up mental health. That's just my life. But this right here, this is genuine today. The smile, the giggles, I mean, they're always genuine. I don't force my giggles and I don't force my smile. You guys know that. Again, I try to be very honest on the Daily Vibe. But I think, I just didn't see it and I just didn't know it. Now, one of the wonderful things that happened to me on Friday after the Daily Vibe, and I thought I was fine. I mean, you guys saw me. It's like, yeah, I'm great. Thanks. Oops, sorry. Wardrobe malfunction. But I thought I was doing okay. And then I texted my dad. We usually text every day, just to make sure we're both alive. And but I think it's a nice thing to do, right? I mean, you're keeping in touch and stuff. And he asked me if I was okay. And I have made it a point to not lie about my mental health anymore, because that doesn't help anyone, and it certainly, most importantly, does not help me. If I'm not honest about it, I can't reach out for help because I'll just keep pushing it down, down, down. And I told him, I said, no, I'm not, but I'll get better, just got to ride this out. And he said to me, I wished I understood, to which I burst into tears. And not in a bad way. I told my dad, I said, thank you. That means so much to me. That to me is another version of saying, I love you, daughter. And he's like, well, yes, I do, but I also worry. And I think that's why sometimes we don't want to share our mental health with other people. I think that's why sometimes we don't want to share these moments where we feel so lost. Even if you just have what I call, again, the common people blues. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean it, when you don't have a dinged up mental health and you have the blues, they can still make you feel low. You just come out of it faster, and I think for any of us who go through these low points, to know that even though somebody doesn't understand, they're thinking about you. And I told you in the past, and I always say I love my mom. Yes, I love my mom. Okay. But my mom didn't understand, and she didn't try to understand. And that doesn't make her a bad person. She's just a product of her generation where you didn't talk about these things. Everything and everyone was kept in the closet, right? But my dad, I told you guys some years ago, not that long ago, probably a good handful of years ago, my dad and I had a good talk. And back then I told him, I said, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Well, when he told me that I wished I understood, I told him, I said, the only way to understand is to be affected by it, is to have this problem. And I said, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But the reason a lot of people might be saying, well, why did it make you cry? Yeah, so maybe you think it makes, to you, it's another version of I love you, daughter. It is, because it's acceptance. He will never understand what I go through. He will try, and that's okay. And I don't even ask him to do that. But sometimes he does. He'll ask me questions like, well, just randomly. We'll be driving, and all of a sudden it's like, well, what about this? And to me, that's everything, because it's support. It's supportive. Maybe he will never understand what I'm going through. Maybe he'll never understand the brain that I have to deal with. Maybe he'll never understand why my brain is like this. I don't know. Depression runs on both sides of my family, but I'm grateful that it skipped him. I'm grateful that it skipped him. Sometimes he wonders if he has it, but I think he just has the common people blues from time to time, because, he handles things well. He doesn't push things down. He deals with it as it comes. And maybe that's the way we're supposed to deal with it. Maybe we're not supposed to sit there and wallow and overthink it. But let's add another body of water to the sea of misery and the ocean of bliss. How about the lake of overthinking? There you go. Shelley Marie just put a new one on the map. The lake of overthinking. Sometimes we go too far within ourselves. There's a great line from the show Mom. I love that show. And it was early on. One of the main characters had relapsed in her sobriety. And she asked one of the, I want to say like the mentor of the group, right? She was the sponsor for a lot of people, Marjorie. So Bonnie says to Marjorie, when does this stop? And she says, it stops when you choose to stop digging, or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the lines exactly, but I think that's what it is. There was a conversation on my Facebook page between baby sibling and then one of our cousins, Pat. And Pat and I were kind of going back and forth. Well, because we're all trying to figure out, how do you stop overthinking? Maybe overthinking and stopping it is when you choose to stop digging. Maybe it's when you stop trying to find the answers. Maybe there isn't always an answer. I've been searching for answers for years on why I have a mental health. First, I thought it was because of the trauma I suffered. And I thought, well, that's gone. So, I've healed that. It's done with, but it was still there. Then I thought maybe it was because I didn't love myself enough. That's another one. I've been preaching that self-love. I blogged about it this weekend. And I've been preaching that self-love, but guess what? It wasn't until the last few weeks that I really started to accept that and to understand it. So there's so many reasons why we overthink, but I think a lot of times it really does come from the fact that we try to control things. We can't always control things. For the most part, we really shouldn't be trying to control things. We need to just go with the flow, handle responsibilities that need to be handled, but don't overthink it. Don't keep digging. I have to remind myself of that every day. Don't keep digging. Stop digging. When you hit the bottom, find a way back up. Don't keep trying to go deeper. That's what causes the spirals and the events, is when we think, why is this happening to me? I have no answer for my mental health. I have no answer as to why I have a dinged up mental health. There are times when I try to get off my antidepressants, and I don't think about it for a while, but then I notice that I'm not feeling all that great. So until I'm in a place where I know that I can be, that I can bring myself joy, that I can, fully serve and fully give and receive from a full cup, it's just my life. Does it make me, a pariah? No, it doesn't. Actually, I think it makes me more interesting, because my brain is so random. You never know what's going to come out of it. In fact, going back to that whole fall thing, I found my pumpkin spice coffee today. I got 5 pods left. I didn't even know it. So I mixed it with my chocolate. Tastes like fall. But, fun fact. If you go to Starbucks or anywhere else that serves pumpkin spice latte when the time comes around, get it with coconut milk. Because, boy, it ramps up the pumpkin flavor. I'm not lying. It does. It makes it taste so much more spectacular. And, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But anyways, so yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to cover. I mean, I know it's Monday stuff and we should be talking about stuff that put us in the week, but I think where I'm really kind of going with this is don't pretend to be anybody but yourself. Or don't pretend to be anybody. Just be yourself. I know a lot of people have trouble with the term authentic self, but you know what? I like it because, you're not authentic if you're faking your life. If you're saying, oh, living my authentic life. No, come on. Seriously? You walk around like this? No, we don't. And it's okay, because maybe that's you. Maybe it brings you joy. But living your authentic life is living your truth. Living every part of you that is true. It's dealing with the dinged up mental health. It's dealing with your blues if you have them. It's dealing with your emotional eating or your lows. But it's also dealing with your happiness, your highs, the things that bring you joy, the people that bring you joy, the events in your life that bring you joy. We don't have to try so hard to find these things. And I think sometimes maybe that's why we trip ourselves up, because we are trying so hard to find these things. And sometimes I think when we try so hard to find these things, that's what pushes them away. Because we think, well, I need this to feel happy. No, you don't. That's addictive thinking. I need this to feel happy. And in fact, this weekend, I came up with a few things for myself and my emotional eating. And it's, am I hungry? Is it emotional? Or is it habit? And these are the things now that when I start to feel hungry and first thing I want to do is run to something bad, I have to think, is this a craving? Because we all crave things, right? I mean, we're human. I mean, you see something on TV and you're like, oh my God, this is making my mouth water. It looks amazing. But if you just ate and you're thinking about going, that might be habit or it might be emotional, at least for me. So, but it's baby steps, one day at a time. In fact, I saw something really good the other day on Twitter. This poor girl was falling apart, and somebody put on there, it takes baby steps, and they're all, if you can't do baby steps, do babies steps, meaning crawl. You have to crawl before you can run, right? So if you can't take the baby steps, then, take the baby steps, the babies, little babies, the ones that crawl across the floor. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that, because you need to protect yourself. You need to make sure that you get all this stuff in between your ears fixed, and if you have a dinged up mental health like me, it may not always get fixed. All right. But you can work with it. I don't want to use the word control, because that puts too much power on it, but you can learn to live with this. Okay, I am learning how to live with this. Sometimes it upends me and I just want to punch it in the face. But unfortunately, it's my brain, so that means I'd be punching myself in the face, and ow. So that will not be happening. But then I realized, you know what? This is my life. This is what I have to live with. Maybe I had a dinged up mental health because I do a daily vibe every day and I talk to people, either live or post live. And I could be someone like me several years ago thinking, oh my God, it feels good to know that I'm not alone. One of the things I felt very alone with until I found a community on Twitter is, and Sibling and I were talking about it last night, is that when it comes to being a child sexual abuse survivor, most people tend to think it's only boys. It happens to girls too. And when I met other people that it had happened to, it's like, oh my God, I'm not alone. And I think I always knew I wasn't alone. But, I actually said that out loud. Well, see, that's healing. But I found that, other women and girls, well, more women than anything, who this also happened to. And I don't want to say there was a sense of relief, because the worst thing in the world is finding somebody who's been through exactly what you've been through. Because you don't want anyone to suffer the way you did. You don't want anyone to hurt and feel the way you did. Or sometimes still do when those memories pop up, and they're not always that easy to sweep away. For the most part, they're manageable. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Not control, manage. So, I know I'm bouncy today. But I'm bouncy because I'm finally coming back into my brain. I'm not outside of myself anymore trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, which way I'm turning, what end is up. So, and I thank you for bearing with me, because I know we like to keep the vibe super fun, right? And high vibing. And I know I have not been there the last few days. And I think it's because I finally realized that I had hit bottom and I was digging. And now I have to find my way back up from that hole I was digging, get back to a level place so I can climb out and remember that the light is up there. That there's a rope waiting for me to climb up it. So anyways, the quote I have here is, it is easy to hate and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are different to achieve, and the bad things are very easy to get. So basically, it is easier to be angry at something than to show it love. And that's from Confucius. Okay, so again, it is easy to hate and it's difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things work. All good things are difficult to achieve, and the bad things are very, very easy to get. They always say that it takes more muscles to frown, right, than it does to smile. And maybe that's true, because, I have excellent resting bitch face. But people think I'm mad all the time. It's like, I'm not. I'm just... Sometimes that's my resting bitch face. But I'm trying, because... So now it doesn't look like it, because it's just, I'm giddy this morning. But I think what that's trying to say is it really is easier to be angry at something than to show it love. I mean, how often have you been mad and somebody says, well, maybe you should just, see it from their point of view, or see perspective, or have perspective. Or you get in a fight with someone, an argument with someone, and, you want to do an about face and say, you know what, I'm sorry. It's like, I love you more than this is, I love you more than this is worth, whether it's your friend, family, a partner, whatever, sibling. But then you're embarrassed, because you probably overreacted and acted like a fool. Thanks, Sammy. She liked my resting bitch face. It actually gets better. I get it from my father, because my poor dad, he'd be sitting at work and people would be like, are you okay? Why are you mad? Even I would do that sometimes, but I didn't know that was resting bitch face. I didn't know that even existed till about 5 years ago. So, it's nice to know that there's a term for my resting face. But sometimes I would just be, if somebody asked me if I'm mad, it's like, are you mad? It's like, do you want me to be? Because I was like, no, but you look mad. Well, do you want me to get mad? Because if you keep asking me, it's probably going to piss me off in some way. It's like, I'm fine. Don't push. It's like, it's just my face. It's my face. So as older siblings like, it's my face. But anyways, going back to the other thing, it's it really is so much easier to be angry. Maybe not for everybody. When you practice gratitude and you practice, just showing love for everything around you. Showing love becomes a lot easier, and it's hard for those people to get angry because they can't find a valid reason to be angry at something so small and minute that maybe one of us would get mad at. It's like my biggest test every day that I drive is driving. Because there are people out there who are so insane, and I swear they think they're in a video game where, I'm not going to get hit and I'm not going to die. But what they don't realize, they're not the good drivers. Everybody around them is. But guess who goes off scot-free? All of us who are following this car may be angry, but that car is just like, woo, look at me. They don't even know what they've caused in their wake. So I think the important thing is to not let people get under your skin. Just go in love. Just say, you know what, bless you, don't kill anybody. Or, go forth and have a great day, or just take a deep breath and say, you know what, I'm alive and that's a good thing. Then quickly pray that you get to your destination safely without wanting to chop somebody's wheels off their car. But, you see, there it is right there. That's driving Shelley. Minus all the expletives. And it's usually not that bad, but I will say this, on some of the freeways here in Southern California, especially in San Diego, Orange County, and LA, I don't know about other places. I basically just live in Southern California, so I don't drive anywhere but mostly these places. But they're crazy. I have driven a lot in Colorado. I generally go there for a week every year for my aunt's birthday. And I don't see the craziness as much up there as I do down here. I mean, everybody's in such a damn rush. It's like, set your alarm, leave on time. And sometimes I think it's just, we get a lot of these souped up cars down here and everybody wants to see how fast they can go. Then they hit a pocket of cars and it's like, I don't want to slow down. So they keep going, or they're on their phones or they're distracted. It's hard. But, the only person that I can really change in that situation is me. So I can choose to hate, or I can choose the good. So again, all good things are difficult to achieve and the bad things are very easy to get. If I go out there every day and I put a little sticky on my dashboard that says, don't get mad, don't get mad, get even. No, I'm just kidding. Don't get mad. Just say, you know what? Come up with some great phrase, and just try to remind myself of that. I think it would probably help in a lot of different ways. Because, it's almost like everything is going fine in the rest of your life. So you pick one part of your life where you're just allowing yourself to be mad at everything. And maybe that's just it. Maybe I just answered my own question. Maybe that's why, or maybe my own comment. Oh man, there's a high-speed chase on right now and I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, that's a California thing. Okay. If you were in front of a TV and a high-speed chase comes on, you literally drop everything. You legit stop. You could be in the middle of a movie and be like, nope. I mean, for instance, Sibling and I finally finished The Crown yesterday. Great show. We've been watching since season 1 several years ago, and I tell you, the way that the last 20 minutes of season 4's final episode with this cast was just like, oh man, I'm glad we waited because, now we don't have to wait so long to get to the next one. But we didn't wait because of that. This is what I mean by being in an event. Shows I love are even hard for me to watch. It's like I just want to hoard them until I feel better so that I can just focus and whatever. But, she wasn't wrong. We have a lot of shows we need to finish because my head has not been in the right place. So, and that should actually be my telltale sign. But, I think, I'm a high functioning depressive person. I don't know how to call it. My depression is very high functioning. So that's why a lot of times I miss it. But, let's see. Sammy says Atlanta has horrible traffic and drivers too. Read not long ago that we are right behind LA in nasty traffic. We don't have as many high-speed chases, though. That's apparently because you don't have that many stupid people. I think, okay, I know Siblings thinking this. The best high-speed chase I ever saw, I was in Hawaii. It was the late 90s visiting my grandma. My grandfather was in the hospital in a coma. And so so we're watching this high speed chase, and my grandma, they don't get many in Hawaii for obvious reasons, and I'll explain that in case it's not clicking for anybody. But my mom and I are sitting there, and we're just watching. My grandmother was a news junkie, and so I just start giggling. And she saw Shellbell. What's so funny about this chase? She's all, that's a bad guy, and he's putting people in danger. And even my mom's looking at me like, yeah, why are you laughing? She's all, I mean, this is serious stuff. And I'm like, all I could think of to say was, where the hell is he gonna go? They're on an island. I mean, seriously. Which is kind of funny about the high-speed chases here. For all the circling they do, they could go to a whole nother state. You know, I mean, for some of them, I mean, for as long as they're going, they could make it almost to the Arizona border if they wanted to. Not that they'd get away with it, because they won't. But I just kept thinking that. It's like, where do you really think you're going to go? And I think that's what the draw is for this stuff, for us to watch. I think you're just sitting there, you know, like a lot of friends of mine and myself like crime shows, like true crime shows, you know, and the ones where the detectives go in and they solve this stuff. And I think all you can think is, what are you thinking? What's going on in that brain? You know you're going to get caught. They had one about 4 or 5 months ago. This guy stole an Audi, I believe. And he drove it till he ran out of gas. And then he just got out of the car, laid on the ground, and the police arrested him. But it's like, why? So I think that's a part of it in the back of your head. It's not just, I know, I'm shamefully entertained by it. But it's not, I mean, we actually will sit there and go, oh, we haven't had a high-speed chase in a while. And they are dangerous. So I don't like the danger part, okay? Because, you know, a lot of people can get hurt. And, you know, in fact, the officers have learned how to back off if they don't think it's going, you know, if it doesn't seem like it's bad or whatever. I mean, not bad, but, you know, high speed and all that stuff. And they'll have the helicopter follow. Oh, older sibling just reminded me of another one. So, you know, I'm sorry I'm sharing these, but it's kind of funny. This is your giggle for the day. So a couple of years ago, older sibling and I were watching TV. And, you know, all of a sudden, I was just on Twitter. And one of the people she was on Twitter. And one of the people she follows says, hey, high-speed chase going on right now. So we changed the channel. It starts in downtown LA, okay? It's like a family dispute. And so this guy gets in his truck, and he drives, and he drives, and he drives right into San Diego. He went right through Orange County, right into San Diego County. And as he's hitting the border, because I grew up in San Diego, so as he's hitting the border, he gets off, and I just started laughing. Because he obviously can't go past the border. I mean, you try to ram through a border, those guys are shooting you on the other side, and nobody wants to be dead, okay? You'd rather go to jail than be dead. But, he gets off the freeway, and I start laughing, and older sibling is like, she's like, what's so funny? And I'm all, he's headed towards the federal jail in Otay. And sure enough, he drove right up to the gates. He had no idea it was there, obviously, because he's from LA. But, I mean, even the news copter was laughing. The guy in the helicopter, he's all like, he's all like, this is the first for all of us. The guy just drove himself to jail. But again, there it is. All good things are difficult to achieve, and the bad things are very easy to get. But the bad things can also get you put behind bars. So think about it, you know? I mean, bad things can lead to obviously bad things, right? Sammy said a high-speed chase on an island is pretty funny. It was. Even, and then after, because my mom and my grandma were just kind of, it clicked after a moment, and then they both started laughing. They're like, yeah, that's a good point. Where is he going to go? He's going to drive his plane or his car onto a cargo plane and take off? No, that does not happen. But I kid you not, that high-speed chase lasted an hour. Oh, people are dumb. And, yeah, people are just dumb. But, maybe he was from California and stole a car there. But yeah, it's like, dude, it's an island. You're going nowhere fast. But, Anyways, I still have some cards to pull. So, again, go for the good, okay? Bad has consequences, okay? Good has good consequences. Because, if you do something, especially out of the kindness of your own heart, you do something for someone, and they might spread it to somebody else. Don't do things expecting something back, because that's not from the kindness of your heart. That's not even serving from your cup. That is just, well, I did it for you, so you should do it for me. That's bad behavior, okay? That's behavior that needs to be corrected. But, and it could just be that whole, you feel slighted by a lot of things. Well, don't do things because, you want something back. Do it because it makes you feel good. Because, a lot of times you will get something back in return. Maybe not right away, but eventually. But they might do something else for somebody else. They may go forth and just shine a light on somebody else's life. And that seed you planted may keep going. And that's the purpose. That's the key. This world needs a big dose of love. And the only way to give it a big dose of love is to learn how to love ourselves, learn to fill that cup, and learn to give from that full cup. Okay? So, I pulled an affirmators card. Engagement. Today I make the conscious choice to engage with the world in an active way. I'll take a new route and talk to strangers. I will smell flowers and pet dogs and maybe walk around barefoot for a while if I'm not inside a 7-Eleven. At the very least, I'll have a day that's slightly more interesting than average, and at the most, I'll have a startling epiphany or make a friend who will change my life forever. No pressure. It's interesting this card came up. Last night when I was falling asleep, I was thinking about 3 of my friends that I have, right? And the funny thing is, I met them all through their significant others. The first one was I was giving away, older sibling and I couldn't make a hockey game. So I was giving away the tickets and I went onto the website for the particular team and I asked anybody if they wanted them. And they're all, yeah, that'd be great. Well, after that, he's like, well, my girlfriend's a Sharks fan. I'm a Kings fan. I'm a Ducks fan. Older sibling is a Kings and a Ducks fan. But we, we just started talking and then she, messaged me to thank me. And it turns out her and I had a lot in common. Well, funny thing is when they broke up, her and I remained friends. So, but it was weird, right? Because it was so random. Then another one of my friends who's like my sis, I met her at Comic-Con through her significant other at the time. And, I don't know what happened to him. I actually went to school with him, but he fell off the planet. And, but her and I still talk. And then there's Cheryl, who I call Ate Jr. Ate is like a sign of respect in the Filipino culture. And so if you're older, even if you're like 5 seconds older, which I'm not, I'm actually several years older than her, but even if you're like 5 seconds older, like someone calls her Ate and they're only like 5 days apart. But it's just a sign of respect towards your elders. I'm not an elder, guys. Not yet. But even her, I was doing a 5K. And I was just talking about it. I was hashtagging, the Angels 5K, blah, blah, blah. And her and her soon-to-be ex-husband. And I just started talking. And then I met both of them at the race. And now her and I, we're like family. So, you just never know what's going to happen when you engage with the world. When you step outside of your box. Just, even if you just walk in today, and even if you have to wear a mask, tell somebody hello. I did that the last time I got my hair cut. And I think this guy was just, because I was looking at him, but you can't really see anything over this, right? All you can see is your face. Your eyes. And so I just told him, like, good morning. And he kind of just snapped to me. He's like, oh, good morning. Have a great day. I got to have a great day out of that. I didn't even tell him that. I just said good morning. But there is no pressure to do this. But you never know what's going to happen. It could change your life forever. Sometimes I get weird about seeing people I haven't seen in a long time or hanging out with people I haven't seen in a long time. Not weird in that way, but like anxiety, right? Because there's a lot of times that I'm so afraid that people just won't accept my authentic self because I'm a dork and I'm goofy. And I can be absolutely ridiculous at times. But I realize now that if you're just yourself, you kind of remove that anxiety. If they don't like you, that's their problem. Look at all the people that already do, right? Look at all the people that already care about you and just want to be in your life, that you feel the same about. So yeah, it's so funny. Older sibling and Sammy are having a conversation. Sammy's right though. They're really just kind of putting off the inevitable when they're high speed chasing around an island or doing whatever they're doing. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. But anyways, sorry. I had to go back to that for a second. I also pulled an ISIS card. Now, I haven't read any of these yet, so this one, by the way, there's the picture. So cute, right? The octopus and the fish just having a meal and some wine. Don't say that every day in the ocean. But the Isis card. Isis is a Egyptian goddess, and she is the Egyptian goddess of rebirth, and among many other things. But High Priestess card. A mystery is to be unveiled. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize also recognize what is happening at this time. You will be gaining valuable insight into where you are being led and for what purpose. I like this because, again, it kind of goes with the engagement part. You don't know what's going to happen when you just go outside, or you email someone randomly, or you call someone randomly. It may not even be someone you know. Maybe somebody gave you their number and you're like, why do I have this again? I don't know. Let me call it, see what happens. But or your email, right? My email's on my website, and I have to admit, I'm so bad at checking that one. I always tell people, email me if you need help, but Shelly Marie needs to get better at that. But anyways, and I will. I'm working on that. I need to put it in my list to check that every day. But allow life to unfold before you. Okay? Allow it all to just happen. So one more time. A mystery is to be unveiled. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize what is happening at this time. You will be gaining valuable insight into where you are being led and for what purpose. I feel like that one's really for me too, because the struggle is real. So, our favorite Rebel deck cards, right? It's purple today. Step away from the crazy-making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate, beer, get some. Hey, that feels like it's a get-out-of-jail-free card for one day and do whatever you want. So, I don't know who needs to see this, but for me, I've actually been forbidden from diets by my therapist. I know. And, but she did tell me, there are healthier ways to do things, but I think it's because diets put pressure on us, right? Like, oh, I have to lose this amount of weight. I mean, I have a cousin that's getting married at the end of the month, and all I could think of when I first got it was, what am I going to wear? But in the past, it'd be like, oh my God, what can I squeeze into? Now it's just like, you know what? They see me on Facebook. I ain't hiding anything, And so, Sammy's repeating kale tastes like ass. I actually put kale in my smoothies, so I don't taste it. But, and I know people might think smoothies are dieting, but I'm not always hungry in the morning. But I know, you should probably have something in your tummy. But, besides coffee and water, in this case, guys, I actually have some caffeine going on here. And it's delightful. But yeah, step away from the crazy-making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate, beer, get some. Bacon, chocolate, or beer, get some. How about all of them, right? I'm thinking like a burger with, I don't know, something chocolatey. Not in it, but after it. And a Guinness. I don't know. I might have to think about that. I have to decide if it's emotional, habit, or craving. If it's a craving, it's okay. If it's the other two, it is not. Sammy likes kale cooked or in a smoothie, but not in a salad. I don't like kale cooked. I'm going to be honest with you guys. One of my weird quirks is slimy things. And I don't mean like, what I mean is cooked spinach, cooked kale, anything leafy that's cooked that gets kind of slippery, or, stuff like that. No, it's gross. And it's funny, it actually makes me gag. Same with like squishy peas. Any squishy vegetables make me gag. But like fresh green beans and fresh peas, amazing. But if they're squishy, I gag. So fun fact about Shelly Marie. Fun fact number 212. Slippery and squishy foods make me gag. But, oh yeah, Ladina says, I vote for bacon and coffee. That sounds like a really good breakfast right now. Actually, some places have breakfast burgers. That's right. And you know what makes it a breakfast burger? They put an egg in it. I mean, seriously. Hi, here's a breakfast burger. It has a freaking egg. Excuse me, it has a freaking egg in it. That's all that makes it a breakfast burger. Oh, except some people will put tiny tater tots in them. Seriously, what does this world come to? We wonder why. But people like me wonder why I can't lose weight. But I can, and I will. And I actually said something to myself this morning which kind of caught me off guard and surprised me a bit. I was talking to myself and I thought, you know what? I have to get healthy. It's time to get healthy. And, but I need to do it just for my health and nothing else. It's not about the cute clothes. It's not about feeling like you're going to be accepted. I am learning that I am lovable just the way I am. And if people can't see that, then they don't deserve me. Right? If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. That's one of my favorite quotes, and it's something that's finally making sense to me. That's finally, I'm finally saying, but what if? And it's like, no. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. And I'm happy now. Oh, maybe I am coming out of it. I don't know. See what happens when I talk here, and I'm talking too long, guys. This might be a record for the Daily Vibe. But I'm finally learning to love all of this. But I do need to get healthy because I am close to being type 2 diabetic, and that I don't want. I have to go for a blood test next month. And two, I got to take care of this. So for me, it's no longer about, I'm going to miss my boobs when I lose weight. But I know I love the girls. I didn't have them until I gained weight. But seriously, it's nothing more anymore except to get healthy, because there is a lot of life that I want left to live. I did not work this hard for this many years to get to this point just to put myself in any more, or just to put my health in any more of a precarious or fragile state. I'm lucky right now, knock wood. I'm very, very grateful, and I am very, very understanding of the fact that I am literally healthy. Even my heart, my blood sugar, come on. They lower and raise that thing up and down so much. It's hard to tell where you really are, but I don't want to be at those numbers anymore. I want to be able to bring them down and to be healthy. Like I said, if you put a salad in front of me, I'm chowing down. Okay? I love them. I do. I love them. But it's getting out of my own head and making the right choices. But there's also chocolate, beer, and bacon. Those are not bad choices. We stigmatize food. Okay? That doesn't mean you should inhale it every day. Okay? Maybe for breakfast. But that doesn't mean you should like make it a habit. And that's where my emotional eating came in. And it's put me behind the 8 ball. But I'm deciding that I'm moving the 8 ball, because if I can't love me at my worst, I certainly don't deserve myself at my best, right? That goes for me too. If I'm going to constantly put myself down as who I am now, then, when I find a way to make myself healthier, and to make sure my heart is okay and to make sure my A1C levels are low, then I certainly don't deserve that person. So I have to learn to love myself just as I am, so that, whatever I look like a few months from now, maybe even a month from now, I know I'm still the same person. I'm just a different size. Losing weight doesn't make you a different person. It just, lessens the clothes you have to wear. It changes the size of you. That's all it does. But what's inside will not change. So if you're trying to lose weight to change yourself, it's not going to happen. You have to love who you are in order to love who you think you might be, to who your body might be becoming. You're not becoming somebody else when you lose weight. Okay? You're still that same person. A lot of people say, oh, I have so much more confidence. I get so much more compliments. That's because, you're exuding this you have to make it last. You know, a lot of times people will feel more comfortable in their bodies when they've lost this weight and they don't get the comments and they don't hear the snide remarks people that don't know them make. Don't listen to them. A lot of times these people that lose this weight gain it back because they didn't do the mental aspect of it all. And that's the whole point about dieting. People put so much into what we're eating and what we're not eating that they forget you got to feed this little thing in between your ears. Because if you don't, it's not going to stick. And I think enough of us have had enough failed diets where we know that if you don't work on the mind, you're either going to put yourself in a precarious state where you're so obsessed with your weight, or, you know, you're going to put yourself in a place where you just don't care anymore and you just kind of give up on yourself. And I won't lie, Friday I felt like I died inside. I did. And then I realized when I was blogging yesterday that I didn't rise like a phoenix. I rose like a very slow, decrepit phoenix. It was painful, it was hard, and it was slow, and I'm still getting there. But you know what? It's like I said, if you can't handle me at what you think is my worst, then you don't deserve me at what you think is my best. Okay? So, I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry this went on long. Baby sibling is trying to break me of that. So, thank you for hanging in there. I know we covered a lot today, probably a lot more than I intended to cover. I did not mean to make this so long, but there was a lot that needed to come out, I think. There was a lot that needed to be said. And I don't know who out there needs to hear a lot of these things, but you know, just be easy, go easy on yourself, be kind to yourself. The first person that needs to be kind to you is you. The first person that needs to love you and respect you and show you your worth is you. Okay? So, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow for Tuesday Thoughts. And, you know what? It's Monday. Go knock Monday out of the park. Okay? Have a great day.